talk about energy. So in my last video, I talked about a few things I was going to be doing to try to kind of revamp my life, and energy was my top priority because I'm tired, y'all. I have been dealing with fatigue for many years, as long as I've had children, and I don't want to live like that anymore. So I'm going to be working on increasing my energy, boosting my energy naturally. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to separate that into 3 different sections. The first section is going to be reducing my caffeine dependency. The second section is going to be increasing my energy. And the third section is going to be curbing my energy depletion, or watching my energy expenditure. So, caffeine dependency. If you've watched some of my other videos, I live on caffeine. And many years ago, I used to be like an energy drink girly. I didn't even drink coffee. I drank several energy drinks per day just to keep me going. I was exhausted. I even got B12 shots. I was so tired. And I developed kidney stones. I know a lot of people compare it to giving birth. I've done both, and I'm gonna say it's up there. It's up there in the pain. So that's when I started drinking coffee. But every now and then I will have an energy drink or two if you've watched some of my old videos. So what I'm going to do is just completely lay off of the energy drinks altogether. So I've already done that. I've been doing that for the last couple of weeks, and I've limited myself to only 2 cups of coffee per day. So the next step in reducing that caffeine consumption, the next thing I'll be doing is eating before I drink any coffee. So drinking coffee on an empty stomach can lead to like increased anxiety or jitters, or even just like a spike in cortisol that's going to lead to that midday crash. So just in order to sustain my energy throughout the day, I'm going to be trying to eat before I drink any coffee, eat breakfast, something very nutrient dense. It's also going to help if you drink water, if you rehydrate first thing in the morning. So I already mentioned that I keep a carafe by my toothbrush. So right after I brush my teeth, I drink water, and that's also going to aid in that waking up and feeling more energy first thing in the morning. Next, I'll be tapering down to 1 cup of coffee and 1 cup of energy tea. And then I'll just be down to 1 cup of coffee and then 1 tea. So fingers crossed that I'll have some energy. Moving on to section 2 of natural energy production. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but movement really does increase energy. It sucks, I know, but it really does. So back when I was working and I had a typical office job where I would just, sit all day in front of a screen and type all day, I implemented an experiment where I would get up for the last 5 minutes of each hour and just move. Sometimes I would walk up and down the stairwell a couple of times, or I'd take a stroll around the office, or even did, some jumping jacks right there in my office. Anything to kind of get the blood flowing. And it helped. It really did help kind of sustain the energy levels across the day. So just getting up and even just a little bit of movement helps to start increasing more energy. Another thing that you can do is add some energy boosting foods like spinach or bananas, things like that, to kind of increase your energy naturally. Another thing you can do to increase energy naturally is by making sure that you're getting quality rest. So for me, that's going to look like consistent sleep and wake times throughout the week. And that's just to ensure that I'm getting quality rest. I'm setting myself on a schedule to where I am used to being awake early in the morning and whatever time I'm going to be going to bed. I'm used to being tired at that time. If you've watched some of my old videos, you'll see I have a bit of insomnia. So some days I'm up super late. It happened last night. So fingers crossed we can start setting that schedule, and our body will kind of naturally fall into that rhythm. In section number 3, the very last thing is going to be energy expenditure. So for me, that's going to look like taking things off of my plate. I really want to focus on just the things that are important to me, and I don't want to stress and worry about things that may not matter. So that's going to look like some of the self-imposed restrictions or rules or guidelines that I have for myself, and really just focus on what's important. Another thing that you can do is automize. So some of these things that you worry about and stress about, you can try to get them out of your mental space. Automize as much as you can, outsource, or even just prepping. I hate cooking, and so dinners especially. So sometimes I will prep weeks worth of dinners, crock pot dinners even. So they're super easy. I don't really have to think about it. That takes a lot of the mental load off of me, and that frees my mind up to worry about, not worry. We don't want to free our mind up for more worry, but it takes some of the pressure off of me, and I am not having to put energy towards dinner. I can put energy towards, working out or spending time with my kids or doing something else that I really want to do, and not something that I hate doing. Another thing is cleaning. Unfortunately, I am not able to outsource cleaning at this time, but what I can do is make a schedule. And so some days when I look around and it seems overwhelming and that pulls a lot of energy from me, I have made myself a schedule on what I'm going to clean per day, and I'm only going to do that. I'm not going to pressure myself if I can't have the entire house clean in one day. As long as I get the things done on my list, I'm going to be good. So some of those things, setting boundaries, even with yourself, on what you're going to give energy to and what you're not going to do. I think it's a really good thing to kind of take stock of on what you're actually spending your time and energy on, and just redirect it to the things that really matter. So there we go. That's my plan. I don't even know if it makes sense. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're delusional. So of course it's going to work. We're going to have so much energy in a couple of weeks. Check back and see.